week 5, week 6, can't mind, halfway through this mesocycle. So, knee on belly, we're going to look at a couple of reactions, which helps us get on the back. Okay. So, again, I have my grips. Go to knee on belly. Curl turns into me, and from this position, we showed you different things I could do. I can bring this arm across and go for step over chokes and stuff. But we also showed you on the second or third week how I can hit this baseball bat choke by getting windshield wiper control. So anytime he turns into me, an option is I can slide my shin across his arm, staple it with my foot, and then turn my hip, which means I can pin it. So when I go to hit that baseball bat choke, he's only got one hand to defend. So when I slide it in, so I've got a baseball bat grip. Now I get the choke a lot more easier because I've pinned this arm. But from there, a reaction will be this arm comes over your shoulder. And when Carl turns into me, he can use this to free his arm. Yeah, just pull it out. Okay, and then I'm back to square one. But the second this arm comes across and he turns into me, his back is exposed. So I can get on the back. So from here, I just slide my knee across and I slide it right behind his head. So I'm into the chair sit. My head wants to come as far as it can up to the back of his neck, so his head's resting on my leg, thigh like a pillow. And then I just roll from my left hip to my right hip and secure harness control. We're going to look at the double lapel choke. This is how I used to do it. And then Henry Akins shows a very good, different way of getting it. So I'll show you the way I used to do it. So from here, I'm connected to them. I open up the lapel, I get a 4 fingers grip, or thumb inside grip. Left hand grabs the other lapel. Okay, and then from here I'm ear to ear, and I use my shoulder to press into the back of Carl's neck to finish my double lapel choke. Okay? Problem with that is, when I'm fighting to get this grip and I have a 4 finger inside grip, Carl will get his chin up grip, so he gets control of my wrist and my arm. Okay, so the second I try to finish this choke, there's space, okay, between my arm and Carl's neck. When I drive it in, I can't get the choke. See the way there's space here, and then he can work on getting his escape out. So you'll find then, when you try to do it that way and it doesn't work as well, then you don't really use it as much, because the second, it works if I can get it straight away before he gets his grips. Okay, and also, with that thumb inside grip, or the 4 fingers on the outside of the gi grip, it's an air choke, okay, whereby my wrist is coming across his larynx. And you'll always find air chokes are harder to get because they're not nice on the guy you're doing it on, and you'll fight like the devil to pull this arm down when you get an air choke on you. Okay, so the way Henry Akins teaches it, he opens the lapel and he just grips with 2 fingers inside. I want to get super deep. Then he turns his wrist, so you're looking at your watch. And again, all the chokes that he shows, it's all about the connection I make with his neck. So the back of my hand is cutting off his left jugular. My forearm is cutting off the right jugular. Okay? I get the grip of the gi. This is doing a slight tricep curl. I pinch my knees. I engage my hips. My arm is loose. My shoulders and body is what chokes, so I'm just leaning back and I look over my right shoulder to get the top. So again, one more time. So from here, I think it's a good strategy to use that windshield wiper a lot. So the second I get to knee on belly, and Carl turns into me, I slide my shin across, I staple it, I switch to here, and there's a ton of chokes. I can hit my bread cutter choke, I can hit the Ezekiel, we can hit that cross choke. And because I have one arm tied up, we'll maybe look at this in future classes, he's only got one arm defending. But before I do any of that, if his arm comes across and he turns onto the side, and he's about to rip this arm out, all I'm going to do is step over his body. I want my knee coming to here, and I'm coming into my chair sit position. Okay, just turn around this way. I get harness control ear to ear. I roll from my right hip to my left hip. So I'm into the harness position. Okay, and then we're into our back position. We'll just just do the choke from this position, but you normally just do it from your side. So from here, open up the lapel, 2 fingers inside, okay. I look at my watch, like so. Left hand grabs the key, okay. So I do a tricep curl with my left hand. I pinch my knees, I engage my hips, my arm is loose, okay. My elbow's coming behind as I look over my right shoulder. Again, from that position, if Carl happens to latch onto the scripts and he's pulling down, trying to create the space, it doesn't matter. I just do the same move. My arm is loose, I don't care how far he pulls it down. It's the connection I have with my arm and forearm around his neck, around his jugular. So I do the same move. Okay? That's all I'm doing there. That's just upper body. Now if I pinch my knees and use my lower body, really don't let me do the choke. Pull, 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 pull. It's that. Okay, so one more time. Get my grips, collar, and the belt. Knee on belly, he turns into me. Windshield wiper. The second he turns up, I fill the space with my body. Normally I finish it from here. So we end up in the side position. So I open the lapel, 2 fingers inside, find the other one, okay. And from there, pinch my knees, engage my hips. My arm is loose, it's like a piece of string. Doesn't matter if Carl latches onto it or not, okay. What gets the choke is, I'm just bringing my elbow back, my shoulder's coming back, and I look over my shoulder. That's just upper body. Now when I use the lower body pressures of pinching my knees and engaging my hips, pulling my arm really hard. Okay, so that's your back take, guys, from knee on belly, finishing with the double lapel choke. Let's drill for 5.